Hello. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, you know what time it is. I'm Evie and I make art and book related videos, and today I finally have a new video for you. Today I'm going to be making finally an art related video. I haven't made an art related video in a while, but I thought I'd do a little vlog of me using oil paints for the first time. Sorry, my cat is very sad that he can't be in here with the paint. Yeah, I've never really used oil paints before in a large setting, so I was like, well, I want to do this specific painting idea, but like I don't want to use acrylic paint with it, and I don't want to use gouache because they dry like too fast for what I want to do. So I was like, you know what? I'll just get oil paint and I'll use oil paint. So we have my painting. It's hard to see the sketch. Let me flip the camera. Okay, so it's based loosely on the song Bite the Hand by Boy Genius, and it's this wolf, and it's literally just biting a hand. Teehee. Yeah, I'm not that original. But the painting is also loosely inspired by the show Yellow Jackets, and by the character Shauna Shipman, and by a lot of the experiences she personally goes through and stuff. So yeah, I thought I'd make a little vlog of me painting with oil paints for the first time. But yeah, without further ado, let's start painting, I guess. So I've begun painting, and I realized I started painting at a really horrible time because it's late at night, and I usually wash my paintbrushes in the downstairs sink to not like lock them up with, you know, paint and shit. But my sister sleeps in the basement, and she is asleep, so like I can't really wash my paintbrushes. Great. But I started the painting. I started blocking in some of the darker parts, like I started blocking in like the dark black of the mouth where it's gonna fall into the tongue, and then also like this stark contrast where like the head is turning and that's the rest of the body. I'm probably gonna have to, I might do the nose soon, I'm not sure. And then yeah, just the grip between the fingers, probably gonna add some like fur texture, but I'll add that after I paint in the skin. And then yeah, I've got some fur going on here. I'm gonna have it like be like a brindle kind of wolf. I don't know how to describe that color tone in like a wolf, but like I'm looking for like a brindle kind of pattern where it's like multiple different like fur tones coming in. Like I've got some gray going on here, I've got some brown, I've got some like, it's literally called raw sienna, but like I got some like yellower tones, and then this is gonna be like a giant like red, like reddy black like star coming out, and then the background's gonna be like red fading to black. And then yeah, it's gonna be like a normal pale hand like mine. And then I think I'm gonna put, I don't know if I'm gonna put words in the background or not, but yeah, that's the vision. Yeah, I don't know if you can see my vision in your mind, but there's a vision there, don't worry. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done this late at night, but I don't like waking up early. So I'm gonna stop filming for a little while because my camera's about to die, but I want to show you the progress I've made. It's not much, but I am just slowly starting to build up my brush strokes. And this is oil paint, so it will take a while to dry and like layer and stuff. So far I'm working on some of the fur over here. I am having a hard time deciding if I want there to be like more gray fur or more brown fur, but I'm just trying to work in like that fur like kind of like stroke work before I decide on like individual brush strokes and stuff. And I've gotten somewhere with this bottom section. I gotta wait for it to dry a little more before I can add more texture in here, but you can tell that it's like darker, and you can tell the shade, and that this is probably gonna be the lighter section and that darker. And then I'll probably do like the mouth and the hand like towards the end, because like I'm really scared of that part. And I'm really bad at drawing animals, so we'll see how this goes. Hi, it's been a couple days. I did some resting. I went to work, did my grind, and now I'm back. We're gonna paint again. I have the vision of the painting perfectly in my head, so I know what I want it to look like. It's just like the actual applying the paint, waiting for it to dry, and trying to make it look beautiful. That's the hard part. Also, even though I'm like got a decent bit done with oil paint, I'm still like kind of like, should I have done gouache? Because like I'm more comfortable with that medium. I've used it a lot more than I've ever used oil paint. So like I know how to blend it, but like you can't really get a good fur texture with gouache really. And like with the fur, I'm gonna be needing to do layers and layers and layers. And the thing about gouache is you can't layer it too much because it's like a form of watercolor paint. So if you add water to the already dried paint, it's just gonna get runny and smudgy. So like the more layers you add, the harder it is to look beautiful and blended. It's just so you try to like do it all at once when it's all wet instead of like waiting for it to dry and then adding the next layer, because it's just gonna fuck it up. So that's why I'm doing the oil paint, because you cannot get that precise layering with gouache. But I don't know. I feel like this entire video was just me complaining. I turned my heater on because I'm cold and I gotta go on my t-shirt, but I gotta set my easel up. I have a new show to watch. In the first little bit, I was watching the movie Speak with Kristen Stewart. I bought the book, and I've been really wanting to get into it because like I'm wanting to read like lots more about like a lot more books about like coping with trauma and like surviving things, because like I have my own life traumas, and even though I feel like I've gotten pretty good at like coping with it, and I've gotten really well at like developing and like learning and growing, there's still some things I could learn and grow from, and there's still some things that I could like not focus on. Like I need to focus more on like self-care in me and not like sitting back in my trauma. Like I have PTSD, so a lot of times I literally just like I'm doing nothing but being immersed in my own fucking trauma. So I really want to try to like process it a lot more and like be like, it's okay to live in the, like it's okay to have a flashback, as long as I don't let that flashback like take over my whole life. Like I can have a flashback and be like, okay, I just experienced trauma, let's move on. Let's do something to help me process through the trauma, which is what I'm doing this painting for. So yeah, we're gonna try to get into it. Now I have a new show to watch. The new season of The Handmaid's Tale's out. So the first 3 episodes are out. So I'm gonna be watching that, and I'm gonna just paint today. Let's hope we can do it. And at one point, I'm probably gonna listen to an audiobook, but we don't know. So yeah, let's paint. Let's cry. Let's do some more crying. So this is the palette we are working with. Very limited, but you know what? It's the colors that we're working with. And then this is the canvas. I left it to dry so I could start like layering and try to make like some actual better fur textures. And I have my reference picture pulled up on the side. So yeah, I'm almost done the Handmaid's Tale, so that's great. Okay, I haven't put the time lapse on because my back has been giving me problems and I don't want y'all to see that. But I got a little bit done. So I've blocked out most of like the fur color, and now I'm slowly, I don't know if you can see, there's not a lot of good parts, but I'm slowly trying to work in like the little fur details. I'm just practicing. It's better on the parts that are already dry than the already wet parts, because that. But I'm gonna get my fan out and I'm gonna try to dry it, even though it's oil paint. But yeah, I'm not gonna try. Maybe I'm regretting this, but who knows. But I'm really liking the brindle pattern so far. I'm gonna put like more gray in and more darker bits, but I don't know. And then I gotta finish the ear, but I'm gonna work on the ear later. Yeah, and also it's about to be my dinner time, so I'm gonna munch up and then we gonna do some more work. another update. Yay! So we've gotten somewhere with the fur texture. There's some bits like this brown bit over here that need a little more rendering. Oh, my kitty. But there's some bits that are looking much nicer. And yeah, I've like fully blocked out most of the fur. Sorry for my cat meowing in the back. I can't really have cats in here with the oil paint fumes. And the paint being out, and also they jump on my easel and knock it over. So it's the whole thing. So they can't be in here, unfortunately. And they are very sad about it. Yeah, as you can see, the fur texture down here is looking a lot better. And I've put the background in. I might do a little more blending later on, but I kind of like the semi-roughness of it. And I like that it's like the blackened version on the red, and then you just get the starkness of the wolf. And yeah, the eye is going to be like a bright red star. So yeah, I've come to a crossroads where I don't know what to do next. I think I'm going to leave it to dry a little bit because it's really hard to layer the fur texture when it's not fully dry yet. Like I need to do it in like layers because it's oil paint. But I think I'm going to start like, I'm going to do like the mouth because I can do that part because then I can leave that to dry and then go back and then, yeah, it's a whole process. But I really want to, I really want to get this painting done soon because Yellow Jackets is about to finish. Season 3 is about to finish, and I was supposed to like, this was the painting I was supposed to do for like, this was my art for the season, so it's like, it takes me so long to do this, so whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update. This is what the palette's looking like so far. My back is killing me, and I'm listening to Animal Farm by George Orwell on audiobook. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do the mouth and some of the redder bits, and then I think I might take a break for tonight and read before bed. Okay, sorry, I had to turn the flash on because it's getting kind of dark in my room. So there are a few things I want to touch up on. I'll probably touch up on them next time I come up to this painting. Like the gums. I want to add some like highlights and stuff because it's not as bright as I want it to be. Or I could darken the tongue, or like the mouth of the background of the tongue. And then yeah, we have the background done. And then, yeah, the fur textures, we're getting pretty in there. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I'm gonna do for today. I'm gonna collapse my easel, finish Animal Farm, and then I'm gonna read another book. But yeah, next time I see you guys, hopefully this painting will be a little more dry, so I can add more details. But, yeah. See you in 3 seconds. That you probably didn't care for unless you are truly here for the art things. But I fixed the gums a little bit. I added some highlights so you can like tell a definitive difference. I fucked up a little bit here, but it's okay. And then also, yeah, I made like a kind of like shadow highlights here. And then I also fixed the mouth a little bit. I added more like shadows behind the teeth. But yeah, now I'm gonna like render in the fur a little more, probably fix the nose, maybe put some black in the back of the mouth. We're just gonna be a rendering kind of today. Okay. I've added a lot more like brown fur textures and a lot more textures. I haven't done time lapse because my camera has been dead. But I'm gonna get another snack and then we're gonna keep making. Hopefully I can set the time lapse. Okay, this is what I've done so far. I have a lot more fur texture, but I have a lot of stuff that still needs to dry. And then this is like the black part of the mouth, so I'm gonna make it pure black with like some highlights. And then yeah, I think the nose I'm gonna do last because I don't know how I'm really gonna do that. But yeah, we're working on the ear and the rest of the fur, and we got like a definitive shape. And I'm trying to like touch up the nose again, but it's okay. But yeah. Okay, I forgot to film, but this last part, I did a bunch of fur texture, which you probably just saw, but I just did the nose. I haven't done, like, the inside of the nose, but I made, like, the actual, like, brown part of the nose. I'll show you what I got. Okay, so this is what the nose looks like. It's giving nose, right? It's giving nose. Gotta add a couple more details, and then this is the rest of the fur. Okay, I just quickly did the mouth, too, because I had black paint on my canvas. I kind of messed up some of the teeth, but I will fix that once the black paint dries, and I can add in the darker colors. Like, or not the dark colors, I can add in white paint, and I kind of messed up this one too, but I know how they generally look, so I'm gonna like, once I have the white paint, I'll fix it, but yeah, we'll see what this happens, and I also touched up some of the fur bits. Okay, hi, we have another update for you. I'm not done the painting, but I've done some more things I want to show you. I've added a couple more details. There are a few things that I want to like let dry and rest before I finish. We're gonna do that. But I feel like every time I come here, I feel like I haven't done enough for you guys, but trust me, I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot of like stroke work and raw textures. It just takes a very long time for this fur to like come together and look like fur. Let me show you in a minute. Okay, yeah, I've got a lot more fur texture going on. I've touched up the ear a little bit, and I've also got some of the gums done. But yeah, this is what we have so far, and I'm gonna add some more black texture and be right back. Okay, I have another update. Not a good update. It is a good update. I don't know why I didn't say that. It's a good update. I've started adding more texture into the fur. I've started working on some detail into the ear, and now I'm gonna start working on the teeth. But I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of messy, but I'm just gonna keep on layering and hoping for the best. So there's obviously a lot more layering that still needs to be done, but the fur is much more texturized now. I've been going with my finer brush and just like adding darker and lighter tones. And also the ear's a little more texturized. Yeah, I'm going for the teeth, and I think I might add the eye in. It's gonna be like a red star. my back. Oh my god, I can't even describe the pain. I can't even describe the pain. I'm stopping for today. I'm getting really tired. So I'm gonna stop. And I'm not gonna be able to work on this painting for like 2 days because I have to go house sit for someone. Don't you just love being an adult and doing adult things and favors for people? But yeah. So I've blocked out some things. So I just like applied some color, but like not really like defined any details because oil paint has to dry and layer and blah blah blah. And yeah, I also touched up a little bit of the detailing in the fur, but I definitely am gonna come back to that on a different day and just see what I can do because I just need to take a break and like come back on a different day and be like, what's the mistake that I have to touch up? But here is the haps. I blocked in the color of the hand and I blocked in the teeth. There's some shading, but I want to make it like whiter. But yeah, here's the fur texture. Let me make the, sorry. Here's the fur texture. And then I'm working on the ear too. But yeah, that's how things are going. Don't mind this light. That's how I've been getting good lighting at late at night. It's literally like 2 in the morning. Okay, so I've got some of the eye and some of the hand rendering done. And then I've also finished / touched up the ear. I think I'm going to do some individual finer strokes once it all dries. But yeah, I also finished the fine detailing on the fur. I might come back to some smaller areas later on at the end of the painting, but I don't think so far. So I've just got to finish the eye and the teeth. The teeth are very like kind of sloppy right now, so I've got to touch those up. And then finalize the hand because it's just like dry and a little bit of shadows right now. But yeah, it's like 2-3 in the morning. I'm gonna go to bed and I will come back to this literally in the morning because the eye, it literally just needs to be brightened and I want to put more pigment on the hand and the teeth need to be whitened up. They're very pink right now, but that's to like unify it with the mouth. Art talk, blah. And then some of the fur up here might need to be touched up and maybe the background paint, but I don't know. We shall see. Okay, so we have an update. I've painted in the eye, I've done a little more detail on the ear and the teeth, and then of course I've started rendering the hand. I want to add a little more highlights and then define some more of the shading in the fingers and the muscles of the hand, and then like over here, and then yeah, a little more teeth touch-ups, I think. Just a few more strokes of the ear, and I'll be done. I might do something with the inner nose, but I'm not sure. I also, at the end, I want to go over with either oil pastels or oil crayons to add like smaller details and textures to like really bring it out. Like okay, so I reached a point in the painting where I think there's no more I can do without like kind of like making it look like a running mess. I am gonna go in with like, I don't know if I mentioned this before yet, but I am gonna go in with some oil pencils or some oil pastels to just do some really like fine details, like really fine fur strokes, the whiskers. I'm gonna add like a very fine like star in the very center of it, the white star at the center of the painting, and like some ear fur textures, and like maybe some cross hatching on the hands. And then the final thing will be I paint the edges black and then put it somewhere, but I don't know where to put it. But yeah, this is a little painting. So I'm nearing the end. I've decided that I'm pretty much done the whole painting process. So now I'm just adding in really, really fine details. I'm taking oil pencil crayons and I'm probably going to take some oil pastels. But I'm adding very fine details to the face and the fur to the really, really fine brush strokes. I'm also doing my usual cross hatching through most things. And then I gotta add in the whiskers. And then I'm gonna make the star in the eye really more defined. I'm gonna add a very fine white pencil crayon to the center just to define it. So yeah, I'm taking these oil pencil crayons and I'm just going in and I'm just adding some details. Okay, so after a month of painting, I finally finished her. I'll give you an up close in a sec, but I just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know I'm finally freaking done. It took a month, lots of blocking, lots of waiting for it to dry, and lots of texturing, lots and lots of texturing, but it's finally done. So last week you just saw me work on was me using oil pencils and oil pastels to go in with some finer details. But yeah, I just went in with some really, really fine fur textures. And then I also painted the edges. And I gave the dog some whiskers. And yeah, it's all done. It is missing some teeth in here, but I got really lazy at one point and just like gave up on doing that. And it was just too hard on the layering with the white colors and the oil paint, so I just give up. But I am trying to get better at practicing my animal painting, so I will be doing a series where I start painting my pets and to just kind of get better at painting animals before I go into university. But yeah, let me show you the painting. Okay, here we are, the finished child. I guess I like doing this painting. I really learned to love painting like even more than I already did, and I just can't wait to keep making more painting and to take a painting major. But let's get in here. Okay, so first you have the ear. It's a little less texturized than the rest of the body because it's the inside of the ear compared to the outside where the fur texture would really be more prominent. And then we have the rest of the fur. We have regular paint strokes, and then we also have finer strokes with the oil pastels and with the oil pencils. We have the sides painted. I even did some like cross hatching and fine details with pencil crayons there. The whiskers and the nose, of course, and the hand. And I really went in with the eye. I wanted to do like a white star in the center, more prominent, but it was really, really hard to do that. So I just kind of like went for brighter in the center. And then, yeah. I'm gonna wait for it to dry a little more, and then I'm gonna paint my watermark in like the corner. But that's the finished painting. It's having a hard time focusing, but yeah, that's the finished painting. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this month-long journey of me learning how to use oil paints. And if you like this video and want to see some more stuff of me painting, consider liking and subscribing because I have a bunch more stuff I want to paint, and I have a bunch more videos I want to make relating to my books because I read some books in this May. So check out for my reading recap. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon.